My name is Amber, and I guess this will be the first in a series of videos that will document my experience acting as a surrogate for a friend of mine. So, I think most people hate really long videos, so I think what I'll probably try to do is make them shorter and sort of break them up into chunks. And I think with this first video, it'll just be like saying that I'm doing this, and then talking about a little bit about me, and then I might leave other where we're at in the process, and then in other videos I'll talk about sort of how the idea came to be and all of that stuff. So I guess I'll start by telling you I'm Amber, which I said already. I'm 38, I'll be 39 in November, and I am married. We're about to celebrate our 12th wedding anniversary to Jeff, and we have 2 boys together. So Carter is 8 and Gray is 5. Grayson is 5. I actually used to do YouTube videos to document my pregnancy with both of the boys, and so I think that's part of why I wanted to document my experience acting as a surrogate, because I liked the idea of documenting the pregnancy journey for myself to look back on. And at the time, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, there was quite a little community of women who were either having issues conceiving, and so there was this sort of group of women who really came together and supported each other when they were facing fertility challenges. But there was also in there this group of us who were fortunate enough to not have fertility issues, and we just kind of ended up sort of a little bit in the mix. I don't feel like I was ever like really tight in the group. I feel like I was a bit of a latecomer, but I got to know some of the women in there pretty well, and still follow them personally, their personal profiles on Facebook today and stuff. So I wanted to document the surrogacy process for a couple of reasons. First of all, well, I'm in Canada, and our experience in Canada being a surrogate is not the same as it is in the US. So I think the big difference is that you cannot get paid in Canada to be a surrogate. I just can't see. I'm not going to say that because I feel like that sounds judgy. So I knew that I wanted to be a surrogate well before I had done any like real looking on YouTube to see if anyone else had documented a journey about it. And there has to be documented journeys of surrogacy. I just can't find them. So if you're watching this and you have seen other women document their surrogacy process, please send it to me, because I'd really like to watch them. So that's why I wanted to do the videos, because I thought, first of all, it would be maybe useful for somebody who's thinking about doing it to see what the process is actually like emotionally, what the process is like in Canada, and for me to look back on, and as a way to make sure that I'm kind of owning my own feelings about this process, because I know myself and I feel like I'm going to be so aware, and I'm already so aware of making sure that this experience, like, I have a piece of it, but ultimately it isn't mine. And so I think this might be a little bit of a way for me to like embrace the experience that I have as the actual surrogate. So that's kind of why I guess I wanted to do the videos. So about me, yeah, I'm 39, I have 38. I feel like I'm already saying that I'm 39 because I know that's coming. And then these 2 boys. I'll also say a big thing is that I know the family that I'm being a surrogate for, and I'm very good friends with the mother. In the process, I have completed all of the physical requirements that I've needed to do. So I've done a bunch of blood work, like blood screening, STD scans, all that stuff, as has my husband. And I had a sonohystogram, so I can maybe get into all this in a separate video, but the actual, like, what medical tests were required for the process. I had a sonohystogram just where they just wanted to make sure that the uterus looked good and that there was nothing kind of in there that would be an issue in terms of getting an embryo to implant. And so I'm all good on my end. We also had a psychological evaluation with the fertility clinic's therapist, psychologist, registered psychologist, and we had that this coming Monday. It will be 3 weeks, I think. So we talked with her, and then after we talked for about an hour with her. Jeff had to be present for it. And then once she was off the phone with us, she let us know that she would be calling the parents, the intended parents is what they're called legally, to kind of make sure that we're all on the same page. So I think really what she's looking for is, when she asked me certain questions, was the intended mother going to give the same answers? Did we both have the same idea of what our relationship would be like after this? Like, how did my husband feel about it? Like, all of those things. And that she would only call us back if there was a bit of maybe something that she felt like we needed to talk out, the four of us. And she never called back. And right after the intended parents got off the phone with the psychologist, my friend called me and said, like, we just got off the phone with her and, you know, everything sounds great and we're ready to go. So we did that appointment with a therapist, and then we also met with virtually, same with the therapist. These were just phone consults. Normally we would have to do them in person, but because of COVID, even in Canada, they're just having everything done virtually. So we just did them over the phone. We had a phone call as well with the embryologist, which Jeff also had to be present for. And so we had that appointment last week. And yeah, she said that everything is, like, looking good on her end. And now we're just waiting for lawyers to draw up the contracts. So once the contracts are done, we're, like, officially good to go. So today I started my period, so it's cycle day 1. I called the clinic to let them know they have, like, a period hotline, which is weird. But I called to let them know that today was day 1. And I think around, at some point in my cycle, they will start me on certain medications to both thicken the uterine lining, but also prevent me from actually ovulating on my own and prevent me from starting another cycle, from getting my period and starting another cycle. And so yeah, that's kind of where we're at in the process, I guess. Just waiting for the legal documents to be done. I had heard that around cycle day 19 is when they start meds, but my cycles are really, really short. So as an example, this month's last cycle lasted 23 days and the cycle before lasted 22 days. So I spoke with the nurse from the fertility clinic this week, early in the week, like Tuesday or something. And she didn't think that we would have time to get the legal stuff done before needing to start the meds for this cycle, for the cycle to be a go. So it will probably be my next cycle, which sucks because I kind of just want to get moving, as I know does my friend. But the kind of benefit, I guess, to having the shorter cycles is that we really don't have to wait very, very long. But it's going to be about 6 weeks of meds once we start them, and then we do the transfer. So I feel like I didn't speak very well in this. I wasn't very, like, articulate or fluent, but I feel really out of practice with making YouTube videos. So I guess if there are any specific questions right now that people have, please put them below. if you happen to know me in real life, I would ask that you let me know that you're watching, that you found this, and that you're watching these videos. I don't mind. It feels really voyeuristic to me to find something like this. It's really personal. I mean, it's weird to say that it's really personal and yet I'm sharing publicly, but it's also like one of those deeply personal and intimate things that I think like should be talked about, and that I think that if more people knew what the experience was like, maybe more people would offer to do it, and my friend wouldn't be in a situation that she's in where she has a really old surrogate. Anyway, that's kind of the story. I'm not really sure what else to talk about in this video, so I guess what I'll do maybe is update another video about the legal documents and kind of what those looked like and how that process played out, and then updating about whether or not this cycle is a go. So that's the story. Thanks for tuning in.